Okay, now it's live.
All
We
right, perfect.
live.
We're live. All right, let me remove. All right,
Are you good?
5, and then the video, right?
You too.
Perfect.
We're live.
Thank you so much. Bye. And then this one. Woo! It's gonna be fine. We're gonna have fun. Sorry.
My name is Ritimi Kende, and I'm the founder of GodKulture. GodKulture started officially in 2001 on a college campus, and what a journey it's been. Before I discovered my purpose, I'd lived a life without a sense of direction. But everything changed when I received the call to start GodKulture, or GK as we fondly call it. I remember asking God to reveal what He wanted me to do with my life, and He did. And it's been amazing. I was sitting in front of a computer in the den working on a project during the college summer holidays, and I asked God again and again, what do you want me to do with my life? The next moment was miraculous. It was like a quiet voice, GodKulture. And then I saw a global conglomerate of leaders, pastors, visionaries, collaborating to take the love of Jesus to the ends of the earth. That was only the beginning of this vision. I've had my highs and lows, but every year with a full-time commitment to this vision, I see God bringing the vision I received to pass in His own way and His own timing. What a journey it's been. In fact, it's been phenomenal. Our initiatives have touched lives across the world. We've seen growth in membership. We have distributed free books to hundreds of high school students, sponsored by local partners and by organizations who believe in our vision. We've launched new events and trainings such as Purpose Fest and Purpose Sessions. Hundreds of lives have been touched and transformed through our trainings. We have provided educational internships and empowered independent contractors who have worked with our businesses. Hundreds of creative projects have been done with faith-based organizations and businesses. We recently launched our debut album. I've also written 2 books and currently working on releasing my 3rd. It has been the honor of my life to be entrusted with this vision. I want to be a man who represents and expresses heaven's creativity on the earth. I am passionate about leading visionary projects to spread the love of Jesus to the ends of the earth. My life is dedicated to family, people development, and transformational initiatives in church culture and global evangelism. I want to be known as a creative leader, an author, an entrepreneur who lived his life to the max and poured out his creativity to make the world a better place. And as you discover my vision and our mission at GodKulture, I hope you will join us as we continue to spread love around the world through creative expression. Thank you.
I just realized my mic was off. Welcome, everyone. How are you? I am not Rotimi, obviously. I'm Messi Rodriguez, Membership Director at GodKulture. Rotimi, our founder, is literally at a book launch that his company, Kingdom Branding, helped release. So we are going to miss him, but we have a great program for you. So stay tuned. Don't go nowhere. Grab your coffee. Come in and join us. We have an amazing speaker today. I would say someone that I'm getting to know a little bit more about his story. And today we're talking about a topic that I love, which is businesses, entrepreneurship. And if you are someone that is thinking about impacting the world to this amazing platform of businesses, this is the place to be. He has great content, but also, life experiences, great tips, and a lot of knowledge that he brings to the table. But before I introduce him, let me tell you that we have a few things coming up. First, we are live in YouTube and Facebook. We have our host, Papi France, who is the Membership Assistant Director, ready to engage you, to welcome you on Facebook. So please throw your questions because we are going to be answering them at the end of the event. We're going to have a Q&A. We are also really excited because we are going to have a live stream that Rotimi is going to host for all creators. If you're a problem solver, You are a creator. So coming in, that's going to happen August. In August, let me tell you right now, 14 at 11 a.m. We're gonna give you all the info, but this is for any any creator that is thinking about, again, using this amazing platform of a business where you make profit, but you also use it for the glory of God and to impact the world with our gifts and our talents. But for no more announcements. I'm excited actually to do this, even though I'm not used to it. But let me introduce our guest speaker, who we're gonna go right away straight to it, because we don't want to waste any time. We want him to really be there for you this morning. Again, go grab your coffee, coming in, tune in. This is going to be recorded, available for everyone that missed it, but we would love for you to be with us this morning. So here you go, Jake White. He is an amazing speaker. He started his business in college. Can you imagine that? I wish I was that, like risk taker, but he started in college. And interesting enough, it was by hosting massive parties without drugs and alcohol. I am reading because I'm excited, but I'm also really impressed because can you imagine a party without alcohol and drugs and be fun? A lot of people cannot imagine that. But he was able to not only host a party, tons of parties. Now, his business, right, took off and achieved quick success after attracting hundreds of students to parties over nationally known sponsors and media coverage across the country. Now, that sounds really easy to read, obviously, but to do it, to maintain it, and to continue it, that's what he's here for today, to let us know more about. But let me tell you one more thing. He not only had, expanded his impact by speaking to students in schools about drug use and teaching leaders his formula, he also shared this formula with everyone, which eventually took off to writing curriculums for high schools. Isn't that amazing? I mean, can you imagine yourself writing curriculums for other people to really reproduce what you created through your platform? That's what he is here for today. Now, here's another amazing thing about him. He's all about businesses. So he's also the founder of Marketing for Speakers, an agency that helps speakers launch and grow their business so they can make more impact and income while pursuing their purpose. Now, just kind of process this, okay? A lot of us have always the question whether if we can go and open a business, make an impact, make money while still having a ministry within a platform. I mean, either you follow the money or do ministry. Well, he's here today to let you know that it can be done. And you don't have to feel guilty about using a business and make money while you are also, doing and impacting the world for God. So here it is, Jake. I'm gonna bring him right now. Hi, Jake.
Hey, Essie. Thanks for having me.
Welcome. I was so excited. So I'm gonna give you the floor. Take over, and then we'll come back with questions.
Okay, awesome. Thanks for making me feel so welcome and valuable. It was awesome. All right, let's get jumping right in. And what you said, Essie, really, it struck a chord with me because I had friends tell me, Jake, you can't make money and make an impact at the same time. You kind of have to choose money or impact. And so this work is super valuable to me. It's super valuable to God. And I'm living my dream life right now because I've taken a risk and stepped out in faith. And so I know there's probably people on the call. Maybe you're thinking about starting a business. Maybe you're thinking about leaving your safety net, risking something and starting something on your own, or you have started and you're just looking to grow and scale your business to a new level, which are all great things and great goals. I believe that God puts desires in our hearts and that they're not just by accident. He's wired us a certain way. And so when we follow him and we're trying to live a great life that's of significant purpose for us and the kingdom of God, we're going to we're going to have a ton of fun along the way. And so that's what I want to share with you today. I want to give you some tips. And at the end, I absolutely want to answer all your questions. So if you came here for a certain reason, that there's something you wanted to get out of this call, make sure if you're on Facebook Live or any other streaming sites that we're on right now, go ahead and write that in the chat. What do you want to get out of today? And then before we're done, I want to make sure to do anything I can to help answer your questions. To start out, I'm just going to quick share our screens. And we will get started. All right, y'all can see this. Entre, huh? So my quick story, yes, I started my business in college. I was throwing massive parties, believe it or not, without alcohol. And yeah, within a couple months, having over 250 people attend a party that doesn't serve alcohol. I know that sounds crazy. It is. And that's why I get paid handsomely to do it. One thing that's when you're unique and you stand out, you get opportunities. And so now I actually do get to do a lot of speaking, and I'll go ahead and show you something about that next. But, God works my path in different ways. He will yours as well. And so I did end up creating a company as well to help other speakers get started. Any basically solopreneurs. If you ever run a personal brand of speaking or coaching, things like that, those are the people that I'm very helpful to, because I've been on the road that you're on. I've grown a business very quickly. And so that's kind of who I am in a nutshell. But let's get started with the content and learn about entrepreneurship and then who you are. So entrepreneurship is starting a business, or also called taking on risk in hope of profit. And this word entrepreneurship, you can see how it's spelled. It's kind of French, entrepreneurship. It's got this French ring to it. But it basically was like entree. It's to start something, to enter it, to begin. And what's cool about it is that, yes, you're taking a risk and you're hoping to get a reward. And so I'm going to show you a quick preview of how things got started, where I am now. And then I want to dive into your risks, your profits, and we'll get going. But this is just a little intro on who I am and where my experience comes from. This is what I'm doing a lot of the times. Life is not made by chance. It's made by choice. So you can choose to learn how to take shortcuts for the rest of your life, or how to build skill sets. As we crave acceptance and belonging, and maybe food. When I walk on stage at a school and get to share with students, knowing that it's okay to be different, it's okay to value your goals, because the default is to look at everyone else and saying, oh, what are they doing? If you want to feel good now, I'll just pay for a pill. That's why it's a shortcut. On the contrary, the things that you said that you wanted at the beginning of this presentation, those are long-term goals. In other words, these are skill sets. These are things that you can learn. My name is Jake White, and I'm a drug, alcohol, and vaping speaker. Awesome. That gets me fired up. So if y'all have heard the parable of the three servants, it basically, I'll paraphrase it. I'm not going to read it from scripture, but basically it encourages us to risk our gifts, to take account of what God has given us and to use it, to make big, bold moves. And basically we have these three servants, and basically the guy they work for gives them all some money, and they all do different things with it. One person goes and risks it all and comes back with like 10 times the amount, or something huge. Another guy comes back and he's like, hey, I doubled the money. And the third guy says like, oh, hey, I buried it in the dirt. Here's the money you gave me. Here, you can have it back. And the business owner, that guy was like kind of upset with the one who just buried it. He says, you didn't use your gifts at all. You just hid it and you did nothing with it. And so that's the kind of thing that's important for entrepreneurs to realize, is that you're going to take risks. But what's crazy is that there's nothing you can get from living a comfortable life, right? Like if you do the same thing every day, you'll never grow. And so these risks are extremely important to us, and they're actually important to God. And the next thing that I would actually want to, I don't know if I'm going to be able to hear from you. So maybe write it down. And then at the end, I would love to hear about your business and what you're doing. So right now, just reflect on, hey, you're taking a risk by starting a business, but what's your profit? What do you actually want to gain from starting a business? And listen, there's no wrong answers for this. You can be 100% honest with yourself and honest with each other, because again, God put these desires in your heart for a reason. And listen, money's not bad. Having influence isn't bad. Having an amazing lifestyle is not a bad thing at all. God says that's where your treasure is, that your heart will be also. So you can use all these things for good and for God. So be honest with yourself. I'm going to give you 15 seconds. Go ahead and write down something, or many things. What's your profit? If you're going to take a big risk, what do you want to gain from it? Okay, once you have that written down, maybe you're on one of the streaming sites, go ahead and write it in the chat. What is it you want to gain from being an entrepreneur? And what does Simon Sinek say? It's your why. What's your why? And this is my W4. This is what I want to answer when I start my business. So if you're on the verge of starting a business, you're going to take a big risk. You want to take account of your 4 W's. That's who do you want to help? Who do you want to help with your business? Second one is what? What do you actually want to do for them? What value are you bringing in their life? So what do you want to do for them? And that's your job, basically, your job description or your business. The third one is extremely important, and it's not what you think it is. So why? It's not why you want to do this. It's why do they need this? Why is your audience in so dire need of what you're about to provide? Because every business comes down to one question, which is what need are you filling, or who are you helping? So why do they need your service or your product? How is it going to change their life? That's probably one of the most important things to answer. And finally, something for yourself is why you? Why do you need to do this? Like at the end of the day, you realize that 90% of businesses fail. So what's going to keep you in the game? Why do you have to do this? Why do you have to push past the hardships of starting a business? Because there are easier things in life that you could be doing. So why are you going to take on something this hard? And get really clear on it. Why do you need to do this? Again, write this in the chat. Otherwise, we can talk about it afterwards as well. I really want to hear your answers for this one. So jot down some notes quick. Then finally, I'm just going to share some quick things. If you came here and you have already started a business maybe, or you're gearing up to start a business, these are some things that I think they don't get talked about as much. And I just want to tease at some things that could change your business today. If you implement some of these things, it could help yourself, your sales, your team, your growth. This kind of stuff is what took me years to realize, and that I didn't find in any of my books that I was reading to try to build an effective business. So 6 things I wish someone would have told me about starting my own business. First thing is this: the best way to sell is to be curious and to care about your customer. And here's what I mean. We've all heard of the used car salesman who's there, stereotypically, they're trying to sell you the least amount of car for the most amount of money. And it's every person who's a salesman is now stereotyped into that. And if you would have asked people decades ago, before our very transparent culture and with the internet, those were probably the best salesmen. They had the best skills. They were the most devious. They could get away with the most. Today, that does not fly. You cannot take advantage of people and stay in business because we're leaving Google reviews. We're posting on social media about our experiences. If you have a high emotional moment, whether it's good or bad, you're probably sharing it with hundreds of people. So in today's economy, it's great because it's more transparent, like God's economy. So not only will God know the things that you do, but everyone else will know too. So the best way to start selling, and especially if you're nervous, I used to get extremely nervous about sales calls and everything. But once I realized that my job was just to be curious about my customer, to find out their wants, their needs, what pains they have in their life, and maybe how I could help them, that made it extremely easy to pick up the phone and to call someone, knowing that I don't actually have to make a sale. I just have to be curious about them, to learn about them, because that's going to highlight whether they need me or not. And the second thing is just to care about them. Now, what do you actually do for people that you care about? Maybe you are interested in them. You want to know about them. You want to get to know them. Maybe you call your friends for no reason whatsoever. You're just thinking about them and you give them a call or leave them a voicemail. You ask how you can help them, and you definitely care about them more than just a transaction. Like your friend, hopefully your friend who has a boat is not just your friend because they have a boat. Instead, you care about them and you call them and you're not using them. So they're not just a transaction. And this is the way that you get to treat your customers, which at the beginning, I'll be honest, I did not think of people this way. In fact, I wasn't a Christian at the time when I first started. So I definitely did not know about God's value in everyone and what Jesus did for all of us to give us value and hope. So this was not on my radar, but once I did learn it, my business skyrocketed. So your posture should be not selling, but just be curious and caring about your customers. And John 13:34, I like to kind of bring this back to scripture because one of the things that I've been learning is that everything I've learned about business is in the Bible. He says, "A new commandment I give you, that you love one another, just as I loved you. You also are to love one another. By this, all people will know that you're my disciples, if you have love for one another." So he basically says love one another like 3 times in 2 sentences. And that's what we're supposed to do for our customers. Number 2, take all the blame, but none of the credit. And here's what I mean. If something goes wrong in your business, it's up to us to take full responsibility. It's our fault if it goes wrong. But if it goes right, give away that praise. Number 1, give it to God. But 2, give it to your employees, give it to your friends, give it to your customers. Make them feel a part of this thing that you're doing, this change that you're making. And Matthew 6:3 says, "But when you give to the poor and do acts of kindness, do not let your left hand know what your right hand is doing." Which is kind of funny. Like how could you even do that? But I think what it comes down to is in business, you'll notice there's people in your life who are extremely successful who give the credit away to everyone else, their team, their family. And you'll notice it at the beginning of any awards speech. It goes to giving thanks. And I think that's an integral part of being successful, is you've learned that, and that's how you become successful. And honestly, no one really cares about how good you are. The truth is, people don't care that much about you unless they're your close friends, but your customers want to know. They want to know how you can help them, and they want to know that they're important. Your team is the same way, the people that work for you. Whether they're volunteer right now because you're at a small stage in your business, or they're full-time employees because you're a little bit bigger, they want to feel valued and included in your vision and your dream. Number 3, this is huge. Know the calendar of your clients. Here's what I mean by that. When I started my business, I was throwing parties, and it was really difficult throwing parties for schools and asking them to pay me thousands of dollars to do it because they just didn't hire people to do that at the time. So not only didn't I know the calendar of my client, I didn't really know what kind of products they were buying. And so I was selling the wrong product for the first place. And then when I found that my product was actually a speaking engagement, because schools were paying for those, they're paying for speakers to come to campus. And the second thing I had to learn is there's a time of the year for probably 330 days out of the year, they're not looking for speakers. And if you reach out to them, they'll say, hey, stop bothering me. But there's a 30-day window, and sometimes it happens twice a year when they are looking for speakers. They're thinking about, maybe it was college orientation, or in high school and middle schools, it's right before the school year or on those breaks right before school starts. They're looking for speakers to come into their classrooms and their school assemblies and to motivate and inspire and change the culture at their school. So if you know when to reach out for the sales cycle, number one, you'll be more effective in your marketing because you won't have to pay for marketing year round. But number two, you can serve your audience for 330 days out of the year. Just give them gifts, values, stay in touch with them, call them. Like we said, love on them, take care of them. And then when it comes time to ask for that sale, you're their friend. You're not a customer-client relationship anymore. It's you're a friend, and people do business with their friends. So that's a big thing, is to know the calendar of your clients. And how do you know it? You ask them. If somebody rejects you, a great question to ask, if they give you a kind of like, hey, we don't need you right now, or we're not thinking about this, is great. When's a good time to reach out? I know you're extremely busy. I want to make sure that I'm not bothering you. And that's how we figured out our calendars for when we do marketing, and it's extremely successful. 4, talk about yourself and your business as you'd like to see them in 1 year. And the reason why I say this is because whenever you start something new, your body is going to want to stay in its comfort zone. So you're going to have some self-doubt at first. You're going to try to talk yourself out of it. But what happens is you need to teach yourself how to practice faith. And so get yourself out of the way and start believing in the person that God can make you into, and talk about yourself that way, and pray that God would turn you into this person, your company into this company. Because what's going to happen is you're going to find out all the ways, all the walls God will break down to make you into the person that he wants you to be. And so many of us say, oh, hey, I want to be a screen printer, or I want to do this, or I want to do that. And in reality, you're not going to get any opportunities that way, because we don't hire people who want to do this. We hire people who do this. So you have to start telling yourself and others, hey, this is who I am. And it was amazing. So I don't always tell this story, but when I was in college, I had started throwing my parties, and I wanted to be a speaker. That was kind of the end goal. I just didn't have a story, right? So I was like, hey, I want to teach people that you can have fun, make friends, and feel good without using drugs. But I don't feel qualified to tell that story yet. So what I did is I'll show them that you can do it by throwing these parties. Now, after I had that story and said, wow, like hundreds of students are coming to my parties, I'm getting sponsored by Red Bull and Pizza Hut and Chick-fil-A, and like I'm getting covered in national news outlets. Hey, I've got a story now. I've got a platform to build on because I did something about it. And so in one of my classes, I made a website saying that I was a speaker. I said, I'm Jake. I'm a drug, alcohol, and vaping speaker. Hire me to come to your school and talk. And the thing is, I had not done that before. And so I was extremely nervous. I was full of self-doubt, but I put it out there, and no kidding. I was in one of my classes. I was in an English class, and I get a call, and it was like right when I had gone out to use the bathroom. And so I actually took the call, and it was somebody on the other line who said, hey, I was on your website. I want to hire you to come to my school and speak. I see that you're a speaker. And it was so funny. She asked me what my fee was. I I had no idea what to say. So I said like $200, which if you're in the speaking industry, that's a steal. That's that actually should put some red flags to be like, oh, this person is terrible at speaking if they charge $200. So I ended up doing that speaking engagement, and long story short too, I bombed it. It was terrible. It was all part of the experience, but that showed me as well that when you put yourself out there, when you say you're doing something, then people can actually take you up on your offer. And Jesus says in Mark 9:23 to someone who's kind of like experienced some self-doubt, saying, if I can do something. And Jesus says to him, did you say if you can? Because all things are possible to him who believes. And you see that in miracles throughout Jesus's time here on earth, is that those who believe experience crazy miracles. And so we can do that. I'm sure you have stories. I have plenty of stories of that being the case. And we have 2 more. Number 5, use your gifts, delegate the rest. Now, if you are already starting your business, you know that this means you probably have like 10 jobs. You're the sales and marketing person. You're taking out the trash. You're the IT tech person. Your customer service, your fulfillment, anything that has to be done, you are that person at first. But let me ask you sincerely, what good is that career if you hate 9 out of your 10 jobs you have to do? My encouragement for you is, and I'm actually, if there's something you take away from this, I would do this. Write out your dream job description. And I don't just mean like your business that you want to start. Like, what are you doing every day? What's on your task list to get done? And think about the things that give you life, that use your God-given gifts, ways that you're wired, the strengths that you have. If you could plan out your day, your week, your year, what things would you be doing? And then what things would you not like to do? Like, I found out quickly, I do not want to do my taxes. I would love to hire somebody to do that. That was one of the big things. I do not want to do project management. Once I have a customer and it comes to the part where I have to do all the contracts and all the back and forth things to tailor get specifics of the events, I want someone else to do that, because I want to go and get to know somebody else, show them what we're all about, show them how we can work together, like put together a vision, and then I want to fulfill that vision. So those things I want to make sure that I delegated. And in 1 Corinthians, it talks about how we are a body, that what good is our body if we don't have a head to tell it what to do? And what good is the different parts of the church if we don't have each other? So the same goes in business, is that you can work as a team, whether it's starting out with contractors or employees, whatever your resources are, or if you're just starting out, finding out friends. Believe it or not, your friends want to be part of what you're doing. Some of them don't, but you'll never know who that is until you ask them. So go ahead and write down that dream job description of yours, and then delegate the rest. Because the consequence, if you don't do it, is you're more likely to end up quitting. Because this is hard enough as it is. Don't make it harder. And finally, the 6th things is to go fast, but hang on loosely. Jeremiah 29:11 says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." And the reason why I say this is because my business has gone on so many different renditions over the last, 2012? So almost 10 years of doing this business. It's changed so much. I've been a nonprofit. I've been a for-profit. I've done work in one state. I've done it across the country. I've turned down deals. I've taken up new ones, like a curriculum, writing a curriculum for people to use. I've done during COVID, these virtual presentations as well as live ones. Some people hire me to create cool games to do prevention work and things like that, because there needs to be different ways to engage people. So when you try to have a closed fist on what you're creating, what happens is you don't leave room for God to get in there and to give you something. And a lot of the times what I've realized is when I'm so set on getting my way, I'm ignoring the things that God is trying to give me. In fact, I said no to my best clients. A couple years ago, I was saying no to middle schools and high schools that I would not work with them because I saw myself, no, I just want to work with colleges because that's where my parties started and that's what I know. Now the majority of my business and my impact comes from younger students, and we're able to get the message in the hands of kids at a younger age, which honestly is going to save more lives. So realize that number one, don't be set on your own plans that you aren't open to God's, because his are way better than ours. And two, just remember that your business is not your identity. That no matter what happens, I could quit my business tomorrow and I would be okay. Like I would be all right because God would have a plan for me. He has value in me, and it's not based on the things that I produce. It's based on his love for me and how I reflect that to others around me. So I'm going ahead and I'm going to end the presentation right here, and then we can take some questions.
Wait, my mic again. See, this is what happens when you don't have any practice with this. You just start talking. Wow, 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 wow. I mean, what can I say, Jake? Right now, you're just like giving me goosebumps because you talk, you really share a lot of practical steps and connected it to our faith. But most importantly, you helped, and I hope this is the same for everyone. If not, please share on our Facebook Live, our YouTube Live. Bring your questions. But some of the things that happen usually is we don't take the time to process what you just shared, the who, the what, the all the W's. And the one thing that I think it was really impactful right now is just to take a moment to really break those down in the way that you did, because I like what you said as far as to who, who do you want to help? We usually think about business in the traditional way as, one we know, well, who do we want to sell a product to?
Yeah.
Right? And you broke it down in a very simple way. Who do we want to help? Because in reality, as you were saying, you open a business not to have people be a transaction, but you open it to help. And to remind ourselves of that is like, woof, I have so much to talk, but I'm going to take it back to our, those that are watching right now, and just have them give us I have a few questions here. So let me place them here for you can give some answers. I'm going to probably also ask some questions. So here it is. Papi is our assistant membership director. She's asking this question here. Who do you want to help with your business? What can you help them with? What do you need your product? Well, go ahead, take it out. But wait, this is not a question. Hold on one second.
I think
this is why I love live, TV, because you don't know, you just like, and also when you don't, know this over here, but I'm going to throw one question right now. So let's talk about the current reality of many people right now that might want to start business, that had already started business, or they are already in the phase one of having a full team, they're making money, but now they have to grow, right? So let's break it down from those three. What would you recommend each of those three levels to do in the current reality to continue moving forward, but connected to faith, not to get lost in the profit part or making money, but what to do to give glory to God and to continue, moving forward and growing their platform?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So if I understood your question correctly, so in the 3 stages of business, right? Let's say you're starting one, let's say you're in one, and then one you're experiencing growth. You want to grow further. What one piece of advice I would give to each to grow in the right direction?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay. So I think to start, if you're someone who is starting a business or you want to, you just don't know what to do. I know that last time we had a discussion, Essie, here on GodKulture, we talked about finding your purpose. And it was really about evaluating how you're specially gifted. What things give you life and you're great at that you can use to impact the world. And the second one is just like, what's a need that is in the world? What's something that is painful about the world today, or about that you've seen, something that could be better? So just matching up your need or your skills with a need in the world. And I think it's really evaluating that. And once you find out what you want to do, you actually have to test it. And this is the thing that I believe this is why most businesses fail, is because they don't test before they start spending money and time on pursuing a dream. They just thought, oh, this is a good idea to me, so it's probably a good idea to everyone. And so the first thing that I would do once you've evaluated it and you've said, hey, I'm going to start and launch a business, is you go out and you basically pretend that you're starting your business, and you go out and you start making soft sales. And it's basically saying, hey, if I create this, will you buy it? And it can start with a survey. You could survey your friends. It could start with conversations, or one of those things, I forget what the technical term is. You get a bunch of your ideal clients in a room and you ask them questions in a room and you get their ideas. And so things like that allow you to be in front of the people you want to serve, bring your idea to them, and then ask for honest feedback. And what's great too is I found that people will say yes if they're your friends. They're polite, They're like, oh yeah, it's a great idea, because they want to support you. But a good way to test if they're being supportive is to say, great, here's I'm going to do a pre-order for you. Give me your credit card and I'll sign you up for our first, what it is, a product or a service. You're going to be my first people, and give them a discount or something. But that will show whether they're serious. Is like, let's have your friend say, all right, I'm going to test you. I'm going to start this mobile car wash business. I'm going to buy a truck. I'm going to get all the equipment. Can I sign you up for one of my first customers? Cool. Awesome. You're going to prepay. You're going to get half price, but go ahead and let me get your card. I'm going to swipe $50. And they'll tell you whether it's really a good idea or not. So
I think that soft sales is so good.
Yeah.
I'm making
Yeah. And you can use crowdfunding sites too to do that same idea. Is like, I'm going to put together this Kickstarter campaign or Indiegogo campaign, those companies that do it, because then you can test the market before you spend all your money and create the product. Yeah. The second one you had asked was, so like, let's say you've started your business and you want to grow. I think it really comes to fine tuning what you know about your audience, and then getting your marketing and lead generation set. And that's where my company for speakers, Marketing for Speakers, basically what our specialty is you've found out, all right, I want to serve people. I'm a solopreneur, but I want to coach people. I want to speak, or maybe I'm a consultant. So I'm in that kind of realm. And now I want to really dial in how to connect with my audience. How do I find them? How do I connect with them online and be authentic and genuine, not salesy? And then how do I let them know how amazing my services are, so that I can get them to work with me? Because the reality is there are thousands of people out there who want your service. The challenge is, how do you get in front of them and communicate what you do effectively and show that you're valuable enough to pay for? That's one of the things is in my line of work with Marketing for Speakers. It's like, if your website, your social media accounts, your emails look like you put it together yourself, it's like someone going to a garage sale and you're trying to sell them something for $100, $200. They're going to say, this isn't a garage sale. This is supposed to be 25 cents to $5. So in the same way, when you quote people your prices for your services and your marketing doesn't match it, then you get a disconnect and you have less customers. So once you find out your audience, you start your business, you have a few reviews, maybe you have some photos and a video about what you do. The next step is really to dial those things in, to bring your marketing up to a new level, and then to think about how you are going to scale your marketing. And there are awesome tools to do that. Scale just means how to do a bunch more. Instead of sending one email at a time, how do you send 1,000 at a time? Directly to the people who need you. And so these are all the things that we do, that we work on, that are very, very helpful for if you're at that stage where you've started, you just want to bring in, your idea is valid and you need to bring that volume up. Those are the things that you need to concentrate on, and ask somebody too, ask for help if you don't know, find a mentor,
Ask for help.
Yeah, exactly. And then if you're that company, I'm not at a point in my business where I have like 20 employees. So I have 5 employees, right? And we do great. What if I can't speak much to that level? So I would say one of the biggest things that you can do is, number one, if you're at that level, make sure you love your job.
Good one.
If you hire people and you don't love your job, what are you doing that for?
Right. You're still right on, yes.
And
but
that's
place is growth, right?
Yeah.
So it's still, but this is such a good stuff. I'm gonna give you some of the questions here. This one right here reminds me of one. Rotimi always talks about working yourself out of a job. When you have an idea, what I love about what you just said in the different stages is, one, test your idea. It's also called like the most viable product, I think, stage 2. If for those, I don't know much, but I know a little, but not. That's why I have Jake. I might come up with questions. For those that want to talk to Jake, he's part of GodKulture's faculty. He's here to help, but he's also here to offer you what he does, right? So as he was saying, he has the services for you available. We're going to talk a little bit more about where you can find them, but here it is. So test your idea, do soft sales, which I love the term soft sales. It's about, well, is someone going to pay for what you do, right? And it's actually valuable. And then the other part, one, as far as if you are in the 5-level team sort of scale, and probably a little bit up that, then the next stage, which he does well in his company, and what he does and what he's gifted at is to help you connect with your audience. And not only that, break down the stages of how can you scale wisely as well, and delegate perhaps at that time, right? The what you were just talking about, making sure that you're not doing everything. But again, this is what he does best. So I love that. Now, working yourself out of a job to be able to do what you love and to be in your dream job, you need money. So here it is, a question that Papi's asking: what if you don't have money to start your business? Good question, right?
That is a great question. So I love that, because I started my business initially as a nonprofit. I had won some money from my school, but I didn't know what to do with it. So I might as well have thrown it in the garbage. I think I won $11,000, and I spent it like that, and it was not valuable. I got taken advantage of, actually,
Wow.
by a website development company, and that's why I'm so passionate about doing it now and treating people right. Is they built a very complicated website that was not to my liking, and basically said, hey, we spent all our money, we can't make it the way you like, good luck. And then I didn't know how to use it or change anything. And so that was kind of, it's fuel, right? It's all part of my story. But then I was left at square one. So if you don't have the money to start, I think you just have to find what's valuable to other people. So, for example, we have an internship program in my business. We didn't have the money to buy to hire a bunch of full-time employees. We can hire a couple, and then we can hire part-time contractors. And so what you can do is look around in your community. Is there a community college? Is there a college where you could take someone under your wing? And instead of monetarily benefiting, they would like actually to get the skills that you're providing. So for our social media and marketing internship that we have, every single one of our students was unpaid, and they all got job offers after our internship program in just a semester.
Wow.
Doing the work. So they went from no portfolio, no experience, getting paid opportunities in their field. Some even were so good they got offered housing benefits and all this stuff. So we just learned that leverage what you have If it's not money, maybe it's knowledge, it's time, it's expertise. What can you teach someone?
Mhm.
What an internship program. Recruit your friends. You would be surprised how many of your friends are like waiting to use their artistic abilities, or they're like these. My wife Emily is totally organizational, right? And I am not. I'm like frantic, dreaming all the time. And she asked me one day, she's like, Jake, can I just help you with your business? Like, do you have any spreadsheets I can work in? And I was like, yes, please.
Please, just come. Do it now.
Exactly.
I love what you're saying. I know that we have like 10 more minutes. So I'm gonna probably be mindful of your time and my time, our time. But here it is. One of the things that you said is create value. Probably it's what we're talking about. Create value for those that you might not be able to pay to at that moment, but also seek for those that support and believe in you. Because if they believe in you, they're going to want to help you in the meantime. And we're talking about creating a team that is going to be, so you're going to be encouraged by, and also motivated by, to continue going for it. And I think money, as you were saying, is a big issue. So I wish that we could have more time to ask more questions and get into the depth of all of it that it is to really get into starting your job and being in your dream job. But the reality is that there's stages to it, even though I truly believe, and I encourage what Jake said, take risks, but take risks that you can handle in your current reality. And I always use the word current because we oftentimes take time to think about it too much, but then the risks, we think too much about them that we don't. And what you were saying last time, it's really important. You have to go for it, right? You have to really go test it out. So with all of that, thank you so much, Jake. We appreciate you so much. We want you back. By the way, Jake, please, I hope that this is true. You confirmed for Purpose Fest, correct? Are you coming to Purpose
Yes.
Fest?
I will be
Yes. Okay. So everybody that knows GodKulture, for those that are new, we have an event that is called Purpose Fest every year. Obviously, because of the pandemic, we weren't able to do it, live, but we are coming to do it virtually. And Jake is going to be part of it this year. And please tell your friends, your family. Is going to be super affordable this year. So check it out. Go to www.purposefest.com and you'll find more information about it. We are so happy to have you, Jake. We're going to let you go. We have some announcements, but thank you so much again. I'll follow up with you super soon, but tell people where can they find you if they want to,
Yeah.
go for it.
I'm going to pull up. I have my sheet. So if you want to get in touch with me, just take a screenshot of it or something. But last time I did this for y'all, and I definitely want to do it again. If you need any help, number one, don't hesitate to reach out if you just want to book 30 minutes on my calendar just to chat. I just call it like a free marketing consultation just for us to chat. So go to calendly.com/W4S, or you can email me, jake@marketingforspeakers.com. But if anybody's in need of any marketing, I'm just basically doing for this month. If you're from GodKulture, let me know. I'll give you half price. But you don't have to buy anything from me. If you just want to hang out for half an hour, tell me about your business. You're a follower of Christ. If I can invest in you, that's work I would love to do for free. I know that you're going to pay it forward 10 times over. So that's my information, marketingforspeakers.com. And there's my email and my phone number if you want to send me a text too. But I wish you all the best. I'll see you at Purpose Fest as well. And yeah, y'all have an amazing rest of your day.
Thank you so much, Jake. Again, I know this is going to be also on YouTube, so I know many people are going to still benefit from it. Thank you for your kindness. Thank you for being willing to share what you know with others. And we are going to make sure to send you people your way so that you can keep impacting, the lives of those that come to GodKulture and Purpose Fest. Thank you again. Well, we'll see you, obviously. Bye.
Yeah. That's good.
We'll talk
Bye.
to you soon. Bye. Well, thank you so much, everyone. We literally have 6 minutes. So I wanted to let you know that we have Purpose Fest coming up in August. It's going to be a 2-day event, the 20th and the 21st. So get ready. It's going to be a virtual event, but you're not going to regret coming or telling everyone that you know. You're going to benefit from it so much, I'm telling you. And if you have never experienced it, just come. It's a fun event, but you're going to get out of it encouraged to go and take action in your purpose, what you were created for. Remember that we have our event in August for creators and for creatives. If you are a creative, you know that you know that you are creative if you know how to solve a problem. That's how we see creators here at GodKulture. If you are a solution seeker, you're always figuring out things. You are a creator, trust me. But obviously, it's going to be in August. Let me give it to you, 14th, I believe. Let me just check. I am not. I have it over here, but I hope that you have an amazing time. Again, it's going to, this is going to be in our YouTube channel, Facebook, so you can watch it again. Forgive, me for the going back and forth, but this is what happens. This is what is good about live events. So here it is, August 14, 2021, obviously, 11 Central. And this is for innovators, entrepreneurs. We have an event that it's all about innovation. And I'm excited that he is hosting it. He is talking about it, Rotimi Kahende, our founder and president of GodKulture. As you know, he has a for-profit called Kingdom Branding, and it's a thriving company that he has so much to share about what God has done through definitely the years to come. So don't miss it. He has powerful material to share with you that is going to bless you. I know for sure, because it has blessed me. So again, thank you so much. We'll see you. I hope that you enjoyed this time. Thank you to our host, Papi, and thank you for being with us. For those that joined today, and for those that are going to continue watching, hit replay, go back, write down all the material. We'll see you until next time. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.